with DXB today, where we are focusing on all things collecting, the art of collecting, if you like. We're seeing more and more great collections be based here in Dubai. We've been through handbags, we've talked fashion, we've talked watches, we've been to art, but we can't talk collectibles without talking cars. Next guest is a classic Porsche enthusiast. So please welcome to the show JP Mondalek. JP, good to see you again. Always good to catch up with you on a variety of subjects,
yeah,
JP.
Indeed.
But today, it's all about the vroom vrooms. It's all about the cars. Okay, look, classic car collections can come in all forms, all different guises. For you, it's just one brand. How did that love affair start?
I was bitten by the bug here in Dubai as an 8-year-old. My uncle had a 944 turbo.
Oh, nice.
And so that was the car that every time I go into it, you know, I'd remember the smell of it, the fabrics, the materials. So it was just like something that bit me, and then it always became kind of an aspirational thing to work hard and to attain it. And
you got your first one?
In 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, the wedding car, as we call it. Yeah.
What was the first one, and why was that the first one?
So you'll all remember, I think we're all of similar ages, the very first Bad Boys movie with Will Smith, the black car in the beginning, which was a 1994 964 turbo 3.6, very rare car, very special car. So after a series of good events and good fortune, just before I got married, I was telling Misha this story while we were in the waiting room, but I came home to my now wife, then fiance, with 2 bouquets of flowers, and she's like, he's definitely cheated on me. And I said, no, I made a boo-boo. I went and bought my dream car, and so it was in 2018, bought that car. But interestingly, the color of that car, one of the reasons why I went for that car, and the car was in Houston, and we imported it to Dubai, it was the exact same color as my uncle's car, which was Zermatt silver. Which in Porsche speak, it's called paint to sample. So these are not colors that are standard. And that has become now the theme of my collection, which is paint to sample cars in unique colors.
So I'm interested to know, how do events such as Icons of Porsche like really elevate like collecting cars, and you know, are you going to be present there, and what will your role be there?
So it's not a lot of people know this, but Icons of Porsche was born in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
It came out of COVID when the automotive business kind of went to zero, and the leadership team here of Porsche were smart enough to seize the moment and activate that space in D3 and allow people like myself, which there are many, my collection is very humble compared to the others that exist in the region, to go and to share the passion with everyone else. And I participated. I've been to the Icons of Porsche since the first one in 2021, but I've participated since 2022, and as I heard you earlier, it's only multiplied in size, and it just shows you how vibrant the collecting space is here. But it's not just for collectors, it's also for family and friends to kind of share the passion, right? And to learn a lot about the brand.
But also the people that they have here. So I was involved in Icons of Porsche a couple of years ago. They had Jackie Ickx, you know, Mr. Le Mans,
right.
and like Mark Webber, obviously Formula One driver. To bring big names like that, that's huge.
Yeah, exactly. So and then you had the members of the Porsche family who also came. So this has become a major event on the Porsche global calendar. So yeah, absolutely.
Good
it's
marketing
incredible.
for Porsche as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you haven't got one, how do we get them to buy a Porsche?
Yeah, well, Porsche's not doing so great at the moment, is it, with their last year's sales? But anyway, I want to go back to something that you said about your wife, because my husband does not understand my passion for watches at all. So how does your wife take, because these are a lot bigger and these you can't hide, so you know, you've got, it's not like I can buy one and put it in the safe, but no. How does she feel about that, and where do you store them?
We're hearing all of the secrets of
Yes.
Misha's family. She's hiding watches everywhere.
Can't hide them.
Yeah.
So definitely I'm very lucky that I have a partner who is very much on board with my passion and supports that passion. And I've now transcended that passion down to my 2 children. I've completely brainwashed my 5-year-old. So it's a thing every weekend. No, but now it did get to a point where my wife is like, okay, at some point this can't be an annual event. There's a new classic that just shows up. So we've reached a compromise, a healthy compromise, which is 1 in, 1 out. Yeah. So if I want to replace if I want to get something new, it's got to replace something existing. But I've now reached the stage where I'm very content with what I have, and I don't see myself really replacing anything anytime soon.
Okay, so she's very cool.
There are, just in terms of the art of collecting as well, I mean, yeah, to pick up Amisha's point, you know, if you have a watch collection, yeah, you can find a space for that. But with warehousing being premium here at the moment, the demands of the climate here,
Yeah.
I mean, is this a good place to put a collection of cars together or not? Or are we sort of evolving in that process at the moment?
I think the storage landscape has evolved. There's a lot of businesses that do offer that, but I'm not going to lie to you, it is a challenge of ours. At home we have 2 parking spots in the garage. I had to seal it and put an AC to maintain the climate, the humidity, etc., to preserve these things, because you know my oldest car is an '87 model.
Yeah.
So and whether we like it or not, the climate here can be harsh for most months of the year. So you need to think about that. So that's a challenge for sure. And then the other challenge is just like giving them the requisite exercise so that they stay healthy. Because if you don't run them, like a watch, you got to put them on a watch winder. Yeah, they fault. So that's also the other challenge beyond just storage, is actually making time to drive them.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting because outside of, you know, icons of Porsche, you've got things that have also grown and grown, like the Grand Picnic,
Yeah.
for example.
Wonderful event.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's such a good event. My dad was in the car industry. It's always fascinated me. Mine was a Lamborghini Miura, was what I was obsessed with when I was about 8 or 9. But putting all of these collectors together, is there, you know, can there be some competition perhaps, like Misha was saying about watches? Do you kind of like, is it a bit standoffish, or are you all supporting each other?
You know, I love the question. One thing I've realized in this space is that people from all walks of life, and I mean, you know, I'm part of this Porsche Classic Club of UAE, and literally there are people that are, you know, one level removed from royalty in the group, and you've got people who have just bought their very first classic car, and nobody goes and bothers or asks about how or what. It's just about, tell me about your car and how did you get into this and what's the plan, and you know, everybody helps each other out. And it's now a 300+ person group, and it's super vibrant and active, and everybody helps each other. And it could be helping someone, hey, can you help me get this part from Germany on the way back from your trip, blah, blah, blah. And literally, this is how it is, because we have to help each other, because these parts are so hard to find.
And you do feel that we all kind of regress when, especially when it comes to cars, I think maybe we just go into that and get so excited about the cars.
Yeah, so absolutely, there's no competition. I would say everybody just cheers each other on when something new is being flown into the country, because unfortunately, a lot of the great classics were exported out in the noughties. So all the good stuff from the 80s and 90s left because everybody was just focused on the new stuff. And it's funny, I just helped someone acquire a Porsche from the mid-90s that was in Luxembourg, but it was actually a Oman first delivery car.
Are you joking?
Yeah, so the SATA stamp was there, everything, all the documentation.
I probably know the owner.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, there you have it. So then people love these stories of bringing back these incredibly rare cars and special colors that used to be more common, because I would say the taste in the region has always been quite avant-garde when it comes to these things, and now it's become very trendy. So like, you know, on the Rolexes, the Khanjar, whatnot, everybody wants that type of watch. Everybody wants the paint to sample cars, which in Germany, it's got to be silver or black, but everybody wants now the pastel color cars. And guess what? They used to be here, right? So finding these cars is also fun, and that's my favorite part of the whole thing, is the chase.
So when I collect, my watch collection goes back to something that happened to childhood. So I think yours is the same. But what do you think, if we had to link one thing in common about why we collect, what would it be? And also, do you drive a Porsche as your everyday car?
I'll answer the last part. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. And then the first part, how do we connect?
What do you think is the common thread for collecting? For, you know, whether it be for me, for watches, it's just an absolute passion that started from a first one. But you weren't gifted that as a child.
No.
You just.
But you're absolutely right. I think there's always an origin story. The origin story for me was, again, my uncle, the car. He was very passionate. I saw the passion in his eyes, etc. And I just wanted to imitate him. Right? He was a big figure in my life, and my dad also had sports cars. So it's one of those things, and I'm seeing it happen right now with my son. And my wife is like, you've completely brainwashed him. He does nothing but talk about Porsches all day. So we just did a kind of introduce yourself at school. He's in K1 in the ASD. And literally the whole monologue was about Porsches.
Yeah, but you know the funny thing is, right? So we're passionate about them, and then our kids get them, and then the first thing they'll do is put them all up for auction, and then just go buy a private jet, you know, or something completely. So I wonder if it's. I wonder if it's truly a hereditary thing. I just think it's so personal. For me, I always say you got to buy what you love. So it's and you obviously love those.
As we've been saying, it's a good time to do it at the moment here with the positivity, with the support networks,
and the only safe place to do it in,
and
right?
the safety element as well.
And when you have inflation fears, this is a flight to safety, right? And these things have become now assets in their own right that have outperformed the markets. So it's a good place to...
Yeah, there are many parts of the world that would frown upon these sort of things. And therefore, what, they're just sitting in storage and 100%. Doing nothing. So, yeah, listen, guys, can't thank you enough. Out of time on this occasion. Thank you so much indeed for being our guest co-host. It's so kind of you to come on in and share your knowledge on all things watches and more. JP, always good to catch up with you. Really appreciate it. I'll let you get back to the green room to discuss collections and collectibles.